Welcome to Unshakeable with Human Design, the show dedicated to helping entrepreneurs use human design to shift from hustle to flow without sacrificing results. Come here to become an unshakable human and build an unshakable business according to your human design. I'm your host, Nicole Laino. Hello and welcome to Unshakeable with Human Design, everyone. I'm your host, Nicole Laino, and we're here for our 200th episode. I am so excited. I am in shock that we are at this milestone. When I started this podcast, I knew it was something that felt right for me. I knew that it was something that was like a calling for me. Everything in me said yes, but I was scared. And they say that most podcasts don't make it past 20 episodes, which is a pretty crazy statistic when you think about it, that the majority of podcasts don't even make it really out of the gate. They don't even make it to that 6-month mark. They quit before then, of a weekly podcast, that is, or they're sporadic with them. I have not missed 1 week since I started this podcast in October 2 years ago. We are at 200 episodes. I am so grateful for this show. And today I had a whole thing planned, and I'm not throwing it out the window, but I'm definitely going to use my notes a lot less than I thought I would. I had it very structured, and really I want this to be a little bit more free-flowing because I want to talk about the essence of human design, business energetics, and funnels. These are the things that I want to weave together today, because I want you to understand, if you're listening to this show and you're an entrepreneur, which we are a human design podcast, but this is really meant for the high achiever, for the person who wants to use this to be the best version of themselves and who is an entrepreneur, who has that spirit, who is building a business. I want to show you how these things tie together. And I'm going to weave that together with the way that it has worked for me. And I did an episode a few weeks ago, 5 things that I did to bring ease and cash into my business. And so go back and listen to that one where I get into detail about a lot of the steps that I took. But now I want to talk a little bit more holistically about using human design in your business, energy of business. And then I want to talk about funnels and how they can help with all of this. So this episode is really meant for the person I used to be. If you're out there and you're like, I am burnt out on launching, I feel like I create content all the time. Every day I'm thinking about, what am I going to post online? What am I going to say? And how am I going to say it in a way that somebody says, you're the coach for me, you're the person for me? And then only to put it out there and very few of those people come, or it feels like it takes forever to convert them, and what you can do to shift that. And I'll tell you a little bit about my experience of what I did to shift that, because there is a better way. I get it. Because when you're in that space of trying to get the clients, it's hard. That's why we get so attracted to the attraction model, right? When someone tells you that, oh, you can attract your ideal client, it's like, oh my God, I've been chasing them so much. Please tell me, how do I attract them? But then that has to do with energetics. So we think it's about getting into alignment, but there's also that question of, what does that mean to get into alignment? How do I get into alignment? This is where human design comes in, and it actually gives you a process for alignment and helps you understand that. And there's deeper and deeper ways that it works with your attraction. But even from a high level, I want you to think about if you have chaos in your business, because if you're out there and you're chasing clients and you're chasing the content and you are pushing stuff out there and you are in desperate energy, start thinking about, what energy am I in? And then just shift to, that's the energy that your business is in. Whatever energy you are in is what your business is in. So if you feel like you are in chaos, and this happens with every single type, it just happens for different reasons, every single human design type. It's just, there's chaos for different reasons. I'm a manifesting generator. Chaos comes to me because I have tons of energy, and we're not always known for being the most focused with our energy. So that's part of my work. Now, a projector might have chaos because they are trying to keep up and they feel like they need to work hard, and that's causing them to run with the tank empty. My car was low on oil the other day, and I got a warning telling me that I needed to add oil to the car. And that tells me that I probably need to take it in for a service too, because we're due if it ran through the oil. But when I put oil in the car, it ran totally differently. That's how I look at like projectors and the non-sacrals who are pushing and trying to keep up with the sacrals. But if you're burnt out and you are in chaotic energy, then the business is in chaotic energy. They are interchangeable because you are such an integral part of your business. And what you attract is going to be what you are. So if you are chaos, if you are desperate, you're going to attract those desperate people. Now, I understand this because this is where I was until I got intentional and I started paying very close attention to the energy in my business. But here's the problem with the energetic game. When we only focus on the energy, then it doesn't always lend to us really feeling like our business is working. And at the core of everything is if you are in the energy of what you want, then you have momentum on your side, and then you start to attract what you want. But it has to feel possible. So if you're sitting there doing all this energetic work trying to attract the people, but you don't believe that's going to work, it's not going to work. It has to feel possible. And usually that involves us doing something and taking some sort of action to help the universe along, but also to help our minds along and get on board with saying, I believe that this thing I'm doing will work. And you can use human design to find the correct things to do. So the energetic game with business is about paying very close attention. It's almost like becoming self-aware. It's becoming business aware. What is the energy in my business? What is it like? And at 200 episodes in the show, when I started this show, it was very strategically focused. And then I made the conscious shift to more and more, it was mindset, and then it was energy. And now it's very focused on human design because human design gets to show you what your energy is and what's maybe the energy that you're chasing. And it can put up a little bit of a slow down sign, at least, if not a stop sign, and let you know to take a pause, and maybe this is not a worthwhile place for your energy to go. Maybe you could concentrate it here. Now, human design can actually show you why this stuff isn't working for you. And this is what it has done for me. What human design has done is given me a formula to look at myself, to look at my business, to see my strengths, to know where I have been. So a lot of the strategic work that I did when I was so focused on strategy and I was very afraid to take the deep dive into the mindset side of things, into the energy side of things, I was very afraid to make that shift because that's not where the money is really. You're not really taught that. It's in the tactics, right? So I was afraid to make that shift. It was what I felt called to do, but I was really afraid to go in that direction. And then when I started digging into my gate 64, my conscious sun, into my incarnation cross, the cross of dominion, my 5-1 profile, when I started to dive deeper and deeper into my design, even beyond those elements, and I see that my gate 64, the gift of it is imagination, and the city and gene keys is illumination. Now, there's so many ways that you can take that, but for me, I do provide illumination for people by helping them imagine something better and see the potential that they have in themselves. And that is what I naturally do. And that's what people get from me when they're around me, when they're in my world, and when they work with me. They start to see new doors open, both in their mind and then in the reality of the way that they live. So it helped me to trust what felt right, to say, no, I know that this is actually something for me because it's written in my chart. It's not just something I feel. It's not just something I believe. It's not just me following a trend. This is who I am. This is what I'm here to do. So human design can start to show us and give our business shape and start to show us where our specialty is. I don't look at niching down as niching the person down so deeply where you know their favorite color and all of that stuff. I don't find that to be as terribly useful. But where niching down matters is what's the niche of your industry? What is your little corner that you're going to carve out? How are you going to stand out from all the other people doing the thing that you do? And that's where human design can really start to differentiate you, because it is the science of differentiation. That is what it is. It is a self-knowledge system of a way to understand what makes you you, what makes you unique, what makes you different than somebody who has almost the same chart as you. I guarantee you, you are different. You're not the same as anybody walking on this planet right now. And it shows you how. So what that does is that starts to evolve your message. It starts to shift the way that you show up in your business, and it starts to shift what you focus on and how you package yourself. And once you start doing that, why I believe that building a funnel according to your human design helps the energetics of your business is that when you have the right offers set up that feel really true and authentic to you, you have a message that's tailored to your design, to who you are, that feels so at home for you to talk about it. You could do it literally 24/7 and never get tired of it. And it's so natural for you. And you learn how to use the right techniques for delivering that message in a way that people will receive it. Once you are doing that, and you have that set up where the message is doing its job, and then you have ways for people to buy from you, and you have ways for your message to get out there. You have an authority platform then. You have built what I call your authority platform. What does that do? If you have a way for people to pay you when you sleep, it's going to be a whole lot easier for you to believe in the potential of someone paying you when you sleep than if you do not have the possibility for that. I want to make money while I sleep. Well, can they buy from you when you sleep? Well, technically, I guess they could find my website and they could do this and they could do that. And that's probably not going to allow your brain to get behind it, to be like, oh, it's happening. It's all happening. That's what energy of business is to me. And that's what, when we start to combine strategy with these tools like human design, with the authority platform like a podcast, which is what I help people build. When you start combining all of these pieces and you set up a funnel that functions and you have all of these pieces out there, I have so much content out there that's evergreen now. I have so many ways for people to buy from me that make sense, that actually flow. The message flows to the offer. There's a mechanism for them to buy it. There's a way for them to find it. I am being visible. I'm taking care of all of these aspects, but I don't have to do it all at once. It allows me to leverage my time. And I want you to just see how the energy of that business, that's like, I get to do these things right now because they feel good. I can pull this lever if I need to. I can pull that lever if I need to. Do I feel like I need greater visibility? I'm going to focus on that right now. It can feel insane when you feel like you've got to do it all, when you feel like you've got to be on social media every day, when you feel like you've got to be selling every single day, when you feel like you need to be creating new offers constantly to keep things fresh. Or when you feel like you can only create one offer and you don't want to sell it anymore because you're bored, because maybe you're a manifesting generator like me, and you're just like, I am not into this right now, and I can't sell it, even though it's a great program, even though I believe in it. I just don't want to talk about it right now. We've all been there. All of this stuff is going to dampen your energy. It's going to screw with it. So it's about finding the right pieces for you that allow you to believe 1,000% that money's on its way. And then you can put your energy behind that. Then you can open yourself up to possibility and potential. This episode is an example of me trying to show you what is possible. That is my gift. And that is something that whenever I'm not getting what I want, I'm always looking and I'm saying to myself, I'm like, how am I choosing to look at what I don't want rather than what I do want? How am I putting my energy and my focus into what I don't want right now versus what I do want? And how can I make it feel like, of course it's going to happen? What can I build? How can I build something? What would make me feel like this was all going to work out better than I ever could expected? What could I do? What could I build? What's the piece that's missing? And that's what having an energetic business, a funnel by design, is all about. That's the power of it. because it's working when you're not. You can't believe that you can take a vacation and still make money if you don't have a way for people to buy from you when you're not actively selling. You have to build what you want. You have to create the foundation so that here in the real world, so that the thing that you are trying to manifest, the thing that you are trying to connect to, the life that you're aligning to, you can really put your energy behind it. You've got to be able to believe. You've got to believe that it can happen. We do that by laying those foundations. Everything is there. Now I just have to put the energy into believing that it all can work. So what are the pieces for you? What are the pieces for you that will help your business get to the next level without you having to put in twice as much effort, creating more chaos, or feeling like you're going to take off and ease up on your business, but then your mind says, well, that means we'll make less money. How can we have this balance? How can we make more money and work less? I have found it through a podcast, but I believe you can do it through any authority platform. My personal choice is podcasting, because I think that podcasting is an evergreen content platform. It is the greatest marketing tool you will ever have in your business. And I'm teaching you how to build a podcast funnel in my 3-day workshop that is coming up on September 18th. So if you're listening to this before September 18th, I want you to pick up Instagram, open up your DMs, and DM me podcast workshop, just those words. Don't put a heart or an emoji or a thank you or anything in the singular message, because then the autoresponder won't work. It is an autoresponder that'll send you the link right away, just so you don't have to wait for me to check my DMs, because I don't check them all the time. From with my son, I don't check them, and I get busy a lot. So please just DM me podcast masterclass, and we will send you that link so you can sign up right away. We will also link it up in the show notes, so please feel free to go there if you like. But it's really easy right now if you just want to DM me those words, podcast masterclass, and we'll send you the link right away. This is a 3-day masterclass. This is going to be a really in-depth class where I'm going to show you how to launch, grow, and monetize a podcast. And this is all about, the messaging is going to be about tuning into your human design and how to structure your show based on your human design. So all of this is going to be inside the workshop. I hope you join us, because this is going to be a really impactful, amazing workshop, very tactical and energy combined, which is the secret to having a business that feels really good and still makes you money, where you don't have to sacrifice results, where you can get better results with less effort. And isn't that what we are all about? Isn't that what we became entrepreneurs for, is to have more freedom of both money and time? I'm going to show you how to do that inside this workshop. So I hope that you join us there. Thank you so much for being here, for joining us for 200 episodes. I am so grateful to you for listening to the show, whether this is the first episode you've listened to or you've been listening to all 200 since the very beginning. Thank you, thank you, thank you from the bottom of my heart. This is my favorite thing that I get to do besides coaching people directly. So thank you for bringing me into your earbuds, into your life, and listening to the show and supporting us. Please leave us a review or subscribe to the show if you haven't already, so you don't miss any further episodes. We will see you in the next 200. Remember, if you want to have an unshakable business, you must first become an unshakable human. So thank you for letting us help you on the journey to becoming unshakable with human design. We'll see you next time. If you love this episode and you're a fan of the show, please show us the love on iTunes, Spotify, or wherever you're listening to the show, and leave us a review. And if you'd like to connect with other entrepreneurs on their human design journey, join our free Facebook community, Human Design for Entrepreneurs. Go to NicoleLaino.me/podcast links to join the group, book a human design reading with me, or access our free human design resources. We'll see you there.